Hi there, thank you so much for tuning in to Fab Trends by Miya. I'm very excited to be talking about this fragrance. We are talking about new release from Amouage, and this is Boundless. And a few of you did message me to say, was I going to talk about this fragrance? When am I going to do this review? Because I did a review of its counterpart, two new releases, that was Boundless and Material. The review of Material, you can find it down below, or I'll link it in the description box, so be sure to check that out. So for today, Boundless, let's hear it. Right, so Boundless is a 80s inspired fragrance. By no means does this smell vintage or like an old fragrance. This is quite a modern fragrance, I would say. It smells lovely. Yes, it's got undertones that we are used to maybe seeing in Amouage fragrances, resinous, balsams. It's a lovely fragrance, and this fragrance was created by Karin Vishon Steiner. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. I'm sorry if I didn't. Tried. Anyway, she's a perfumer. I'm not really familiar with her, to be honest, and though I have seen CECILE, who I met, who's done the other fragrance that was released with this fragrance. She's been out promoting Material. I haven't seen much of Karin. Maybe she's doing as much. Maybe she's not just that much on my radar. Like, I haven't seen her much. She's a perfumer I'm not really very familiar with, though I understand she's done some fragrances for Amouage. Anyway, how does Boundless smell like? Let me just tell you to start with. This is also a vanilla fragrance. Yes, so ideally this is a vanilla based fragrance, but if you think vanilla and you think sweet vanillas, no, there is no sweetness here whatsoever. This is actually quite a woody fragrance. I'm gonna spray it. So I've had the sample, and oh my gosh, you guys, look. Yes, at the bottom I literally had to leave this bit, like, oh my gosh, we need some sprays for the review. So I had the sample, came with the card, and obviously this is how the box looks like, and I'm gonna link the bottle here so that you can see for yourself, or there somewhere. Anyway, so this is Boundless by Amouage, and she said that when she created Boundless, she wanted to play with the idea of a golden oud and a gateway to a dense jungle where oud essences of all kinds can be perceived. And she used the raw material, the raw aspect of vetiver and vetiver roots, the smoky effect of gag oud, and the earthy tones of patchouli, supported by oak moss. And she represented the reflection of the sun rays piercing through the branches with natural materials evoking light and golden color, such as a vanilla, cardamom and ginger or balsams, and frankincense, benzoin, labdanum and myrrh. And obviously there is a signature there which is signed on the bottles as well. So yes, so essentially a vanilla fragrance, and again this is quite resinous. This is a bit balsamic, but it's a very woody vanilla, quite a smoky vanilla, and this is, I think this is to represent the quality of the ingredients used here. The vanilla, it's not like your vanillin, as CECILE did explain about the quality of the vanilla used, more like the vanilla absolute. Anyway, so Boundless, let me just spray a little bit just to refresh the nose, as it were. And yes, oh my gosh, this fragrance in the opening, it's very woody, a very woody opening, and it's quite heavy on the cardamom and the ginger, like richly ginger, oh my gosh. And ginger, cardamom, these are things I'm very used to and easily pick up in fragrances, and it's quite heavy on here. But then you've got the blood orange in the back. There's some blood orange in the back, though it's not like in your face in as much as the cardamom and the ginger is, but and ever so slightly as the fragrance starts to wear on, you do get these woody hints come through. And I'll be honest with you, the fragrance in the beginning is a bit, you smell quite different facets as well in this fragrance. Like on one side it's a bit more woody, then you get like there's more spices, and there's also, I get hints of animalics in here, like there's some a bit of leather, which is not listed. The listed notes I will tell you. At the top we do have blood orange, cardamom, ginger and eleme. In the mid there is vanilla, bourbon. Yeah, so you do have bourbon, vanilla and benzoin. And then at the base you have myrrh, there is tobacco, there is coca, there is incense, gaiac wood, vetiver, oak moss and patchouli. Now I'll be honest with you, I don't think that the wood in the gaiac woods in the gaiac woods in here, you can smell it. Like when it gets to the dry down, you do smell the woods, and I feel like there's more woods as well other than just the gaiac wood, because it's quite woody. And like I said, I do get hints in the background as well of some animalics, so probably maybe there is something in here that's not mentioned. We know that sometimes, yes, in fragrances we have things not listed in the fragrance, and that's fine. But yes, as well as the fragrance wears on, this is really lovely. It's quite lovely. Like I said, the vanilla in here, if you expect at any point for this fragrance to get sweet, it does not. This is woody, this is an ambery fragrance, woody, ambery, quite lovely. And even though the house have said this is a unisex fragrance, if I'm being honest, to my nose, this fragrance does lean very much masculine, and those woodiness that comes out, it's definitely a masculine fragrance. And the ideal time to wear this fragrance, definitely cold weather. So this is a fragrance that will be enjoyed in the cooler months, and it's still a bit cold, you can still pull this off. And as you can see, I've been wearing it, I wore it even today, and it's a lovely fragrance. But ideally this fragrance is a fragrance I would reserve for my husband than for myself. I would enjoy it maybe more on him than on me, and this is why of the two releases, Material is my favorite option, because yes, it's just more, it's in the feminine bottle, leans more feminine as well. I would say Material is actually much more unisex in the middle compared to this one, which kind of leans more the other way. Anyway, with that said, projection. On initial spray, the first hour, the first 2 hours, this fragrance, yes, other people are gonna smell it from a distance, like a few feet away they will smell it. However, it does tend to sit a bit closer to skin, and in comparison to Material, in the initial spray, this one does kind of shouts a bit more, it's much louder compared to Material, but a lovely fragrance nonetheless. They are both lovely fragrances. And yes, like I said, projection wise, yes, it does project moderately. After that it sits closer to the skin, but then it will carry on for quite a few hours. I'm talking about 8 to 9 hours I've had this on, and you can still smell it, and it's lovely. It will leave a lovely sillage as well. Sillage, you would have it maybe for a day or two or so. But it's a lovely fragrance, and like I said, definitely men are gonna enjoy this. And I can see why they've said this fragrance was to depict like in a dense forest, in a dense jungle. However, I feel like this would be more like in the forest, and I feel like if I go to the forest, like now we've got a forest nearby where I live, and yes, I can smell maybe woods and mossy, yes, but I think for a jungle, I think it would be maybe a bit more green, which I don't get. I mean, that's just my head if I'm thinking of going into a jungle, to the Amazon or somewhere, you know, like it should be a bit more green, which this is not. So for that reason, I feel like it would be maybe a forest, not quite the jungle, if that makes sense. My imagination is running wild. And yes, those earthy undertones from the vetiver, patchouli, I get it. All in all, it's a lovely solid release, and it's a fragrance I would buy. I would buy it for someone, and it's a lovely fragrance and lovely things from Amouage. So yes, but I don't have a bottle, as you can see, and I'll be honest, it's not like a bottle I'm in a hurry to get, because if I am being really honest, you would know this, I do have some fragrances in this very category which smell very similar. Yes, nice smoky vanilla. I have such fragrances, and for that reason I feel like I'm just not in a hurry to buy the bottle, but if I see a good price, definitely I would snap it up. And the bottle is lovely as well. So those were my thoughts on Amouage Boundless. A lovely fragrance, lovely woody masculine fragrance. Lots of people are gonna enjoy this fragrance. That tone of the vanilla being quite spicy, and then you've got these hoods quite smoky. It's a gorgeous fragrance, definitely to be enjoyed. So those were my thoughts, and if you watched to the end, thank you so much. If you've tried this fragrance, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. So as ever, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I shall see you very soon. Do take care. Bye.